So, Lily, you grew up in this system in which you were indoctrinated into this ideology, but at some point you kind of woke up and realized that that was not where you want to be. Can you talk to me about that process a little bit?
Well, I first time start to question when I was 12 years old, when my God died. How could my God Mao die, right? I was doing the long live Chairman Mao, 10,000 years, another 10,000 years, double 10,000 years. We do that chanting every day for 6 days a week for 5 straight years. Then he died. I was so lost. I did not know what to believe. I start to just thinking to myself, you got to keep everything private thought to yourself because somebody could turn you over otherwise to say, did somebody lie to me? Lie to my whole generation? And so by the time I went to law school at the age of 17, 1981, the party officially come out to say, Mao made a mistake. The 10 years Cultural Revolution was a mistake. He was human. He was human, but I was such a useful idiot and believe everything. I had to talk to him. Even in the clouds, when you were so indoctrinated, right, brainwashed, you become like, oh, you God, I can say, Chairman Mao talking to me from above the sky in the clouds. You saw his smiling face. Oh, it's like so sad. So when I looked for truth in law school, I did not find the truth. I just found out, oh, I cannot change China to rule of law either. What I'm gonna do? So I start to be rebellions, going to dancing parties and search for something, I don't know, until I met a foreign students. Oh, I just grabbed them to say, tell me about the world outside China, your country. One American student told me about America. He told me about Declaration of Independence. And then my light bulb came on. Wow, I never heard this before. I have individual rights given to me by God, not by my government. Cannot be taken away by government, regardless of my skin color, my nationality, my gender. It was just eye-opening. In order to see a foreign student in China, you have to register at their building. Who are you? What are your major? What are you going to talk about? Time in, time out. That's how they were watched and tracked. Me too. So after first time I heard about this, I have a God-given right. I'm not going to register. I know they don't want me to talk about this. So I lied. I cheated. When the old lady go to pour tea or go to bathroom, I will sleep upstairs, very quiet, go see that American student to tell me more about America. I learned about citizens' right to vote, right to bear arms, right to free speech, religion, all that. Oh, this is such an awesome country. I was third year in my law school. So when I become so depressed in law school as a faculty member, as an employee, where Communist Party block committees on your each department still want you to say Kongbayang, Kongbayang, I couldn't take it anymore. I was going insane. I said, I need to get out. And I tried very hard to get out of China, have to get permission to leave. Your law school party member have to sign you off to say, we allow her to quit her job, go into America for graduate school, and get a passport. 7 trips to the public bureau, security bureau to get my passport to leave. I had to butter him up, to participate, to say Kongbayang again, so he can let me to leave. But in my heart, I had to keep everything to myself. It's like, God, I cannot wait to get out. I hope I can get out. That's why I always call. I fled for America. But I had to sign agreement. They made me to sign agreement. I promised to go back after I get my master's degree. Or I get kicked out of party because we have to be party member in order to teach in law school. You have no choice because they want to question your loyalty if you don't join the party. Then by the time I get my second term, it's hard. The second term is that we're going to send you personnel file to China. So if you don't know personnel file, Chinese government tracks its citizens from birth to death by 2 systems. One is household registration. When you were born, okay, your parents had a household registration adding you as a child. They know where you live, and you cannot pack up, I'm moving to Shanghai. No, without permission, without changing this household registration, you are trapped here. You cannot leave. During the 50s, when people were starving to death, they could not even beg in another village because they don't have government permit to move to another village to beg. So they should just stay there, starving to death. And another system is personnel files, individual file. When you are a child in school, you get a student file private. And you are not allowed to see it. Your parents are not allowed to see it. It's a secret file shared by all government agencies and your future employers. So by the time I need to think about staying in America, they threaten me. Oh, we're going to send you a personnel file, which is a work file as an employee of Fudan University Law School to Chengdu. I can never go back to Shanghai to teach, to live as a legal resident because I'm supposed to go back to my file, my household registration place. So who knows? I'm haunted. Hey, my file is still probably in Chengdu somewhere police station.
Wow. And you said something, I mean, my God, like one of the things that really just stuck out to me in what you said was that you are not allowed to teach at a university if you are not a part of that party. So if you went back now, you wouldn't be allowed to teach or have any influence over anything. And that to me, it's so striking to me because we know that 95% of professors at universities in America are Democrats. And they actively ridicule anyone that goes against them. I have a guy right now that I know that just posted a video online today, basically calling out the University of Vermont because they're doing all of this stuff, and he's being ridiculed by his fellow faculty members for speaking up and questioning it. It's just, what you're telling is terrifying. The parallels between the two are actually terrifying. We're watching this happen in real time in the United States, and people are not getting it.
Correct. I have been trying so hard for past 4 years to go to schools and colleges to speak to kids, nonpartisan, just to tell my personal stories, how horrible that is, how many people die. We don't want to go down to that path. But I cannot get into lots of schools because they think I'm a radical right wing. What? I love freedom, want to tell my stories. We want to live in a free country, have a free speech. Is a radical. I'm a radical now. Then what do you call the communists and Marxists in our schools, indoctrinate our children? Who are they? It's a bizarre. They seem to have this moral superiority over us. Oh, they are right, we are wrong. And they control the narratives and media and the social media platforms. So our kids are fed those stuff every day. I did convince some college students to join us after they listened to my stories 2 or 3 weeks later. A Bernie Sanders supporter told me, Lily, I really enjoy your story, and I'm no longer a supporter 2 weeks later in West Virginia University. But I cannot get into lots of schools. I love to be educator, to connect with our students. But like you said, our professors are silenced if you have different opinions. Our teachers are very afraid to lose their jobs in the K-12. I have teachers tell me, moderate Democrat teachers, they are afraid to lose their jobs, so they have to teach the students whatever they were pushed down from teachers union, Black Lives Matter, or Common Core to teach, even though they disagree with it because they are afraid for their jobs too. See, the loudest radical left side dominating all aspects of our society, our boardrooms of corporations. But then you look at the history. Is that what the communists did? How many people have to die for that? How many intellectuals committed suicide during the Mao because they were dissidents? And they did not, they just could not even survive in extremely hostile, political correct environment. The professors today have to write a paper anonymously to show their opinion. This country is in crisis. We need to come out against that, to stop that. Otherwise, I don't want anything happen to me in China to happen to our people, our children in this country.